Hey, it's Clay at claytrader.com. This will be my top 10 stocks as we head into Monday, October 13th. This will be a technical analysis breakdown, so if you're someone that uses charts within your trading, or maybe you're just interested in learning more about charts and how they can be used as a tool to help make good decisions as a trader, this will be a video for you. First off, a couple of clarifications. Number one, the candlestick here is going to be moving around and changing. That is because the market's still open for a small amount of time. But I like to do these when the market is still open because sometimes we can capture some really interesting late day price movement. Second, I'll be using the 30-minute time frame, meaning each one of these candlesticks here represents 30 minutes worth of time. So ticker symbol number one, we are looking at SOXS. And what a mover today. This will mean a little bit more to those of you that have watched past videos, but if you have, I was talking about, the last time the price was down around this 410 mark, you can see both there, and then there. There's been some nice bounces. And now, did I know that it was going to be this explosive of a bounce? Of course not. I'm not saying that at all. But if you did watch past videos and you did, kind of pick up a little bit of position down here with a potential bounce, I'm sure you're going to have a very nice weekend. So congratulations to all of you. But now the big battleground going into Monday, right up here, that pink line, the 200 period moving average, very classic level within the world of charts. So yes, 488 is public enemy number one now as we head into the new week. So keep an eye on that. If there are any sort of pullbacks, then the main level to watch, let's change that here real quick to green. There we go. The ideal level being, hey, Clay, what would make this chart look the best would be if the price can stay up there above 460. But from the overarching standpoint, just watch that purple line, the 50 period simple moving average. I get it's completely irrelevant right now, given the price is way up here. That's way down there. But as time goes by, that line is going to move higher and higher and get more and more relevant. And from the big picture point of view, as long as the purple line, as long as the price is above that purple line as that line goes higher and higher, then the overall trend is still in the bull's favor. But anyway, look at it. Monster bounce today. Doing battle with the 200 period moving average. Can it battle through there? Can it stay above 460? Definitely grab your popcorn for next week. Next one here, GWH. Nice mover today. And now we have a good quality pattern here that has formed. So let's get this pattern drawn into play. So the first part of the pattern, the area of resistance right here. Bottom part of the pattern down here, that area of support. Let me change that to green for support. And then just to make sure everybody can see the pattern, let's all keep it the same color. So we have our area of resistance. We have our area of support. We have the explosive move right there. And then for you golfers out there, put the golf hole down here, make it a little bit more visual for you. And this would be a bull pennant pattern. Now, just because something's in a bullish pattern does not mean for sure guaranteed it's going to go up. But is it valid? Is it logical to think that if it consolidates out and gets a breakthrough there, that break could create upside buying pressure? That is certainly a valid possibility. Again, no guarantees, but a valid question to throw out there. So if you like this price range, you like bull pennants, definitely keep an eye on it. Next one here, BURU, and this is all about perspective. Day traders, flippers, scalpers that bought right there or bought right there or bought right there and wanting to buy and sell within several minutes. Yes, from that angle, the chart's looking pretty rough. But if you care about the big picture, we have some very interesting action here as the price has now started to go sideways. Now, don't get me wrong, just because the price is going sideways does not mean for sure guaranteed it's done going down and therefore is going to curl back up. My point is at least a little bit more valid to suggest that maybe, just maybe, this is the leading indicator that the price is done going down. Case in point, let's just say something like this was going on, where the price still dropping, and then I'm sitting here saying, hey, it's looking like this might be the bottom. You'd be totally justified to say, based on what? The price literally just going down. But that's not the case here. It's at least going sideways. Again, does that mean it's for sure the bottom? No. Does that mean it's at least rational to suggest maybe it's the bottom? In my opinion, absolutely. So that's going to be the big dynamic moving forward. Finally getting some sideways price movement. And as of right now, that sideways price movement has basically bounced off of right around here several times at the 45.5 cent mark. So keep an eye on that, and we'll see if the price can try to curl back upwards. But I know sideways action isn't the most exciting action, but within the context of this pullback here, it can be considered healthy. Next one here, BBAI, a wild looking chart. Now, from the big picture of things, everything is still okay. I understand that can sound crazy, but if you watch past videos, you know that I've been talking about that pink line right there, the very famous 200 period simple moving average. And even if you have a surface deep understanding of charts, I'm sure you've heard of that level and you know if the price is above that area, then from an overall big picture trend perspective, the bulls are still in control. So with that said, you can see the price is still up above that pink line there. So big picture wise, things are fine. But if you look at just today individually, a wild, almost basically a pump and dump today. Got the big pump and then dumped right back to where it started. Again, big picture wise, as I just showed, everything is still technically okay. But individually today, absolutely crazy, crazy pump and dump type of day. So back down to that moving average it goes, and that'll be the key dynamic in my opinion next week is can the price stay above it? Or if the price breaks below here and starts to separate to the downside, that would be a bigger red flag for sure. Next one here, we are looking at TSLL, and what I want to do here is connect and get this trend line into place, because to me this is a very important dynamic. So you can see by taking this point right here and that point, we have this support. So just remember that's where it's coming from as I zoom back in here. But you can see right now that is where the price ultimately did find some support, getting a hammer candle right there. So while that doesn't necessarily guarantee anything, given the trend line, given the hammer, it's at least valid to throw out there that, hey, maybe, just maybe, there might be some sort of bounce occurring early next week if this current movement can continue. So definitely a very interesting dynamic there if you do like to play bounces. So keep an eye on that. Now, if the price rolls over and crashes down through that trend line, that's not a good sign at all from the bullish side of things. But if you are looking for some sort of bounce, then yeah, as long as the price is able to maintain above that trend line, that is a good thing. If there is any sort of attempted further bounce, key level to watch moving forward into next week, going to be right up there around that $19 mark. But all in all, rough day today, but interesting dynamic here around the lower trend line. So yeah, let's see if this can indeed produce some sort of bounce early next week. Real quick, I want to take a break and help you solve a very common problem out there, and that is due to the pattern day trading rule, where people want to be able to make as many day trades as they want, but because of those rules, they're not able to. But I do want you to be aware that there is another market out there that takes very little money to get involved with. You have very minimal risk and a whole lot of upside potential. But I am well aware that this all may sound a little too good to be true. What's the catch? Totally get it, which is why I say come swing by the live stream. I live stream Monday through Friday starting at 11 a.m. Eastern, and this is what I'm doing. So I've put my money where my mouth is, and you can see it with your very own eyes. And if you have any questions, then definitely ask me those questions. But yes, if you're sick and tired of the pattern day trade rule, if you want a market that trades even better than small caps and penny stocks, then definitely swing by the live stream and see what it's all about. Next one here, RGTI, and overall, nothing really happened today. Keyword there being overall. I'm well aware that today, individually, the price started off with a nice gap up and then eventually did roll back over. But from the bigger picture, the price is still just officially stuck in this sideways channel as it bounces back and forth. You can see up here the resistance line that I talked about previously, right up around 48.25. Sure, the price did, get slightly up above it a couple times, but overall, just the general area, the price could not hold, and the price ultimately just got, like I said, smacked right back down. So overall, though, it is, and I realize I'm saying overall a lot, but I want to try to distinguish it. I'm talking about from a bigger picture. So when you consider that, you can see the price is essentially right in the middle of this sideways channel. Top of the channel, 48.25. Bottom of the channel down there at 40.65. Now, in the very near term, a key dynamic here and a key kind of question mark is, okay, the price is actually now down below that purple line. Is that a leading indicator that there's more selling pressure to come? And is this thing actually probably getting ready to go down there and test the bottom part of the channel? It seems like that's a very real possibility now, given the price is now broken down below that purple line. But again, no guarantees. But if there were a bigger pullback to test the bottom part of that channel, I don't think too many people would be shocked by that. Next one here, STAI. And once again, one of these where it's all about perspective, day traders, flippers, scalpers. If you bought right there as a day trader and your goal was to buy and sell within 3 minutes, yes, absolute train wreck for you. But if you care about the bigger picture, actually a very interesting dynamic, because this was a very nasty pullback. There's no doubt about that. But now you look and you can see that the price not only leveled out, but actually has a slight little upward slope to it. Now, that doesn't mean that this pullback is over and it's getting ready to curl back upwards. But as I talked about previously, it's all about rationality, right? It's at least rational to throw out there as compared to if the price was still just dropping straight down. In that situation, it wouldn't make any sense. But yes, it's leveled out. It's got an upward slope to it. So maybe this is a leading indicator that the price has finished pulling back. If there is going to be any sort of bigger bounce to the upside, keep an eye on 67 cents. Next one here, TLRY. Talked about this one yesterday. Had this beautiful bull pennant. But at least this one was polite. What do I mean by it was polite? Well, what would not be polite is if this thing broke out, acted like it wanted to be strong, and then did all of this. So at least it didn't do that. This one just flat out gapped down, and then even after the gap down, it just started bleeding. So yes, sometimes the market's pretty polite, and this was one of those situations. Sometimes the market can be very nasty, but that was not one of them. So overall, this movement here essentially was nothing genuine behind it. What gives me the right to say that? Well, let's think about where was the price before this big move started? Well, the price was down in this area of the chart right here, right? You can see it was down in this area. Where's the price at right now? Well, maybe you can see where I'm headed with all this. The price is, well, right back inside of that area. So in other words, price made a great move up, but now all these gains have been given back. So that's not to say that another nice move can't start all over again. I'm just saying, relative to this movement right here, we have our answer. There was no genuine power, because price movements with genuine power aren't going to go back to where they started. So keep an eye on that dynamic. You don't want to see the price fall back even further, because if it pulls back even more, now all of a sudden the price would be lower than where it was right here, and that'd be an issue. But the biggest issue would be if the price goes down to that pink line, which you now know is that 200 period moving average, and then breaks down through there. In the event there's any sort of attempted curl back upwards resistance-wise, definitely keep a close eye on that purple line there, 50 period moving average, right now valued at $1.83. Next one, NVDA, and yes, unless you live under a rock, today was very volatile, and NVIDIA, again, big picture-wise, you can see the trend is still very much so in the upwards direction. But there's no doubt about it that in the near term, brutal day. Not only did the price crash down through the purple line there, it crashed through the pink line there. 50 period simple moving average, 200 period simple moving average. So yes, today, technically speaking, the bears were just crushing everything in their way, which now brings about the question next week of how far down does this go? Next key area of support in my mind, right here around the 180 mark, which is coming from all the way back here. You can see there is a couple bounce points both there and there. So if it does drop down to that area, very curious to see how it will behave at that area. In the event the price tries to bounce back upwards, initial key area of resistance, in my mind, right there around 186.50. But in my opinion, the top priority right now is not necessarily breaking levels of resistance. It's just trying to stop the bleeding. Again, this is the last 30 minutes. Last 30 minutes, the seller showed up for another big round of selling pressure. So yes, how much more does this translate into next week? We'll have to sit back and see what happens. Next one here, TSLA Tesla, and this will mean a little bit more to those of you that have watched the past videos, but if you have, I've been mapping these levels out, but the one in particular was right here. 427 was broken today as support. Now, did I think it would then go all the way down here in the same day and test this next level? I didn't, but check this out, the power of charts. This is why charts, they're not perfect, but I think they're a tool certainly worth learning. Came down here, and I promise I have not moved that line. If you don't believe me, I'm not offended. Just go back and watch a previous top 10 video, and you'll see me throwing that line in there. But right there, bounced right off that area. So amazing, the power of charts. But also, that is the key level now moving into next week. 411.60, very, very important level that you'll want to keep an eye on. So keep a close eye there, and we'll see if there is any sort of bounce from there. In the event there is a bounce, let me just do some house cleaning real quick. I'll get rid of these lines. They serve their purpose for now, and I don't want to have a chart filled with lines everywhere. But basic rules in charting, when levels of support are broken and closed below, they tend to act as resistance. So if there is a bigger bounce in the upwards direction, then right there at 427 will be the key battleground that you'll want to see if the price can push up through. But yes, no doubt about it. Like a lot of these other tech stocks got absolutely destroyed today. But at least Tesla did maintain that support. Got a nice little candle here. So we'll see if this does lead to a bigger bounce. But I'd be skeptical of any bounces until the bounces can at least get above that 427 mark. So that wraps up the top 10 list. Again, if you are sick and tired of the pattern day trend rule, if you want a market that's open 23 hours a day, 6 days a week, and like I said, moves better than micro caps or small caps or penny stocks, which I know can seem kind of crazy because some of these stocks move really big, but this market moves even bigger, and it's actually less risk if you go about it the way I am. But again, I understand this all sounds way too good to be true. So come swing by the live stream, see it with your very own eyes, ask me questions, and I'd be happy to answer any of those for you. So thanks for watching. As always, make sure you hit that like button, and hopefully I'll see you on the live stream.